Hello, everyone. Welcome to Moonrise Cottage for the Capricorn October 2017 Soul Tarot reading with cards that were drawn uh, during my sacred pilgrimage to the land of my heritage, the places from which I take my inspiration from this channel. At least, Spirit's interrupting me. In these initial stages, that's what Spirit's telling me. So I've been on YouTube since February, for under a year, and I just this is a new effort for me. I ask for everybody's love and understanding and patience. Hi, Mary Love, thanks for being here. As I skill up, I'm getting comfortable fairly quickly. I still have some challenges and learning to do, and I thank you for joining me and supporting me and sending me your love and encouragement while I do this. Hi, Tani. I see that you're here. Can you, you know what? Let me toggle over. So if you're new to the channel, this is the experience you're going to have until I get really well versed. I have several pieces of internet software that I'm engaging with, and I'm less than smooth with that at this point. So let me just show my face in the camera. Hi, how's everybody? I'm doing this as a check. Besides welcoming you, please let me know, confirm for me on the chat, if you would, that you can see my face and you can hear me, and that the stream is actually going forward, because I've had 2 or 3 experiences now. I thought the stream was streaming, and in fact it wasn't, and so there are no videos. So if you're wondering where Libra and Virgo are, that's what happened to them, I think. And so I'm going to toggle back and forth during the reading. The cards will come out. I'm going to share some pictures with you. I am using the beautiful Celtic Wisdom Tarot deck developed by Caitlin Matthews. And I do offer personal readings and other types of consultations. Those are going to unfold more after the winter solstice, but Spirit is pushing me to start talking about that. I haven't told you anything about that stuff yet, but we'll get there, okay? So I'm going to share pictures with you. I'm going to show you the card reading. I will go through the reading one by one, each card at a time, and talk about the unfolding and the stream of the process that you're in. I am going to take a moment to transition and find for you the photos of this journey, and we'll start with Tara, which you've already seen, while I pardon me, while I toggle back to the chat and make sure that my viewers are confirming for me that you can see me before I really jump in, and then we'll go forward. Lorna, hi. Oh my gosh, that's amazing that you're here. Thanks for being here. Annette, hi. Tani's here. Let me scroll back up to the top and see who's here. Mary Love, Tani's here. Sarah's here. Hi, Sarah. Lorna McKenna, oh, so glad you're here. Been thinking about you. You've been coming across my brain for some reason. Cass, hi. Hey, so glad you're here. Annette from Denmark, that is amazing. Eden Stars, wow, love that tagline. Jenna Marie, hi. Emerald Orchid, Switzerland, thank you, glad you're here. Oh, Sarah, you are just the sweetest. Thank you so much. Glad for the confirmation. Hey, Steve. Hey, it wasn't until after the video, after the stream the other day, I understood what you were talking about. And because I was, toggling back and forth and I didn't quite see your comments, but thank you very much. That was helpful and informative, so I'm very appreciative. All right, guys, so you are confirming for me that the stream is going forward. I'm going to toggle back to my software and we'll jump in. And I will check back with you. Those of you who have been here know I'll check back from time to time. I believe, just so you know, I think what's going to happen, what seems to be evolving in my thought process, I guess. Let me toggle back so you can see me. Most likely, the folks who subscribe to live stream in order to support the channel, that's what that's all about. I just This channel has to support itself or I can't keep going. So I stumbled upon that idea one day and I thought, what if everybody just gave, like stone soup, just give a little bit and then I'll be able to produce some more offerings and extra things, etc. I believe what I'm going to do is continue to allow these videos to be public access, and the folks who are subscribed to live stream will have the ability to actually be here in the present while I'm doing this, ask questions, we'll chat together. So these videos that are live stream may go longer than what gets posted online. So I'm going to have a little adjustment to do. I'm going to have to change it up a little bit so that my communication with you is on the end of the video. That's what's in store, I think, for the near future. Let's jump in. Tara, what an amazing place. Can you hear my voice? Every time I look at this photo, I get choked up. There's something about this place, and it is actually one of the places that drew me to this journey. The notion, the metaphor, if you will, of Tara has been living inside of me for years, and I've been dreaming about going there. There is somebody that I did a private reading with, who I'm not at liberty to say that person's name or identify, a fellow Virgo, and we had a very profound experience together. It went on for hours. We were both weeping. And that person spontaneously gave me a gift that allowed me to go on this journey. And they also were leaving on a very sacred journey. And so, in some way, we have traveled together to very different places, but for similar reasons, about unfolding our life. And that is what Spirit wants to talk about with everybody. And so, the readings that came out at Tara, of course, Capricorn. I mean, where else would it be, right? And then, not at the stone of destiny. Let me toggle so you can see that while I'm chitter-chattering. All right. There it is. The seat of power. The Leophale, stone of destiny, the coronation stone. 145 kings were acknowledged, is the word that Spirit's telling me, at this place. And like a lot of the passage mounds, it's up on a high hill. And there is quite a vista from there. It's intensely beautiful. The passage tombs at Tara have been gated off. You cannot go in them for, I think, the reason that there are just hundreds of thousands of people that make this place part of their journey every year. And maintaining it, I think, with that steady stream of people would be next to impossible. So I was at Tara every day. When I was in the Boyne Valley, I was lucky enough. I had been in Galway and exploring that part of the country on the west coast. And then we shot across, back across the country to this area. And on the night before I arrived, we didn't have a place to stay. We couldn't find any place to stay. On the night before I arrived, I found on Airbnb a listing that was perfect for us. And there we arrived. And that place was located, I think, 3 kilometers from Tara. So if you want to go on Airbnb, if you're going on a journey, check it out. Because there's a wonderful woman who lives there. She has a beautiful house. And she actually gives tours if you want. So a little shout out to Catherine. And a thank you for her beautiful help and assistance with all of her knowledge. Because I was able to stay with her, I was able to go to Tara twice a day during that part of my journey. And from there, take my journeys to the other tombs, which were, more or less within a half an hour or 45 minutes. So I had the experience of going back and forth to Tara every day, watching the sun come up, watching the sun go down. And on the last day that I was there, These three readings, had not come out. I had just returned from my climb up to Queen Maeve's chair at Low Crew, and I was feeling bereft. It was pouring rain. Not rain in a way that we don't get where I live. When I came back to this place, there was no rain. And this is what I saw when I climbed up to Tara to say my goodbye, with a bit of a heavy heart, thinking, well, I gotta trust that things unfold the way they're meant to. And if 3 readings don't come out, then 3 readings don't come out. Maybe it'll come streaming through while I'm on the plane. I don't know. So that was kind of the frame of mind I was in. And the sun began to set, and I just stood there. You know, I was kind of walking around. You can go around in a circular fashion. And I was just visiting, trying to open myself for the journey that was meant to happen inside of me while I spent so much time at this beautiful place. And the sun, just kept dipping lower in the sky. It was just beautiful the way the energy was streaming out from the clouds and the light in the background and the vistas that I could see. It was phenomenal. When the sun began to drop in the sky, right away you could see the moon rising, and it happened to be a full moon on that day. And I was so ensconced in my journey, I wasn't paying attention at all because so much was going on for me. And it was in that moment that I realized, oh my gosh, it's full moon today. And just sort of a little hoorays going up inside of me and saying thank you, all those things. So, darkness started to come on. And I thought, well, I guess it's time for me to go. I had to go pack my bags. I was leaving at like 5 o'clock the next morning. So I walked back down the hill. This is sort of what it looks like when you look back up from the place I was parked. I had heard about the Holy Well, and I had walked around thinking, oh, let me go find it. I couldn't find it. And I thought, well, next time, I guess. And also, doing my best to let go of that notion. When I was walking to the car, I saw some people coming out of a pathway that I hadn't noticed, and they had bottles of water in their hand. And I knew, I was like, oh my gosh, there it is. I thought it was up on top, but it's not. It's down here, off the beaten track. So, sure enough, I walked down the pathway, and there's the sign. And I'm going to leave it there for a minute so you can read it if you'd like to. There are apparently 6 wells at Tara. And what's significant to me, one of the things, is the notion that, these structures, these monolithic passage tombs, were constructed more or less 5,000 years ago or more, is what is in the common lexicon if you start looking this up. And the notion that this well, along with the others, the wellspring is what is coming through from Spirit. The sacred place of Tara springs up from deep in the earth. All you beautiful Capricorns, with your gorgeous earth energy, being a cardinal sign of leadership. And I was grateful because I knew when I found the sign, I thought, okay, thank you, Spirit. And I settled down and I sat by the well. There's a little seat, and I just sat there and recomposed myself, shuffled the cards, and then, how it works for me, Spirit just tells me, okay, this is for such and such. Cancer came out, and then Scorpio, and then Capricorn. So it was the last reading that happened, in the hours, literally, before I had to get on the plane and come back. So I was so grateful to whatever divine intervention was happening that helped me to stumble upon this place. And there it is. Some of you have been here, so you've seen it. But look at that. Again, if I ever get a chance to go back, I'm going to get some kind of a fancy schmancy camera and learn how to use it, or take someone with me that has that skill set. The intense beauty of this blaze is overwhelming, and the energy set point, as I've talked about with some of the passage tombs. So here is a well that the people who visit leave things there. It's one of those sacred sites. And somebody, apparently, and I think it's a group of somebodies, once a day they come and they put a little tea light candle there to illuminate it as a representative of the energy that springs forward from the earth underneath the hill of Tara. And again, as a metaphor, it's profoundly beautiful. The well itself looks as though it is inside one of those altar chambers that are inside the passage tombs, into which the carved out large stone bowls would be placed inside the altars, and the cremated remains of the people brought to the tomb would be placed in the bowls and moved around from place to place. I think that's my impression, having been in these places. I could be wrong. I just want to acknowledge I'm not an expert at all. But these are just the pieces of information that sort of came into my awareness as I was in these places. Okay, so people are brought into the tombs, and they are attended to spiritually over the course of the time leading into the solstice. I believe the remains are either placed in a particular altar for a reason having to do with the people there or the moment when the death occurred. I don't know. The season, the 4 directions. So these passage tombs are all, the ones that I know about, constructed in what is called cruciform, meaning it looks like a crucifix. And isn't it interesting that the crucifix is what it is, given the fact that when the rise of Christianity came, in any place in the world, and I'm not disrespecting in any way, I'm just observing to help my own process, that it reflected that. And so when you see the Irish cross, you will always see a circle. And I believe that's what that's about. And again, I could be wrong. But part of me went, oh, I see. That's interesting. Look at that. So as cultures merge and blend together and time, I was going to say elapsed. Spirit is saying to me, as time is erased. So that has something to do with your message that's about to come out. We affect each other and our growth and our passage and our change as we blend together, as things clash and come to a place of resolution. So Capricorn, as you know, if you've been following my readings for Capricorn over the course of this year, it's been a very intense journey. You are in a position, I consider, of a certain type of leadership because you have Pluto in your first house since 2008 and going forward for some more years, depending on who you ask, until 2024, in order to bring the transformation that is meant to happen for you and for all the people here on the earth having their spiritual adventure. I'm not going to go into it, but if you don't know any information about history and herstory of what happens here on the earth when Pluto is in the first house of Capricorn, it's very profound. Extreme changes and upheaval and shift in ways that affect the entire planet. And clearly that's what's going on. So if you think about 2008 and all the transitions that have happened, at least the ones that I'm aware of, I'm here in the United States, There's a lot going on here in ways that are gigantic. And power structures are being reordered. That transition is difficult. It's messy. It looks chaotic. It's like an earthquake, right? That is the energy of Pluto, generally speaking. And Capricorn is a cardinal earth sign, ruling the events that happen here on this planet. When those two come together in that way, you can bet Spirit says, "You're sweet, Bippy." I haven't heard that in a long time. Um, that things are going to come to the fore. That's what Spirit's saying. So there's the beautiful well, and Spirit's telling me, please show you the reading. So there's the Cancer reading about the journey of Cancer and the development of their energy set and the purpose for that and the outcome card. About coming home to yourself and being able to acknowledge your wisdom, your set point, your ability in these new places. It's meant to be new. And there's Scorpio. Check it out. Look at that. I mean, just the cards themselves tell a story about a shamanistic journey. In order to come to a center place with your devotion and, passing literally through the passage tomb at Newgrange. And there's the woman who names kings. So there's this discussion going on in order to perfect the energy and have another transition and a new adventure. And I'm understanding, just as I'm talking through these readings today, and I always often say this, it's true for me, I know from experience. As an earth sign, when I am in the presence of water and the people who carry water signifiers in terms of astrological set point, it helps me to grow and shift and change. And I feel loved and I feel acknowledged. And just the concept of water flowing over the earth is beautiful. And I really literally do feel it. I am very, very grateful to Spirit for having the Capricorn reading come out in that energy aspect. And I do believe there's a profound reason for that, having to do with your own change and shift and growth over the course of this year. I'm going to put the cards up. There are your cards that came out. And I want to show you something else before we jump in. There's your card. That's the outcome card. It's one of the most beautiful cards in this deck, and I'll get to that. But I also wanted to show you the picture of the tomb, right? So it's the well, but it looks like a passage tomb, doesn't it? If you've seen some of those other pictures. There's a very deep metaphor there for you, Capricorn, and for all earth signs. Because of our energetic set point, we affect each other and we can help each other grow and shift and change because we each hold a piece of the thread, and I'll be talking about that. All right, so I'm going to shift back to the reading. And while you look into those cards, I'm going to just take a quick moment and double check and make sure the stream is still going. Okay. Steve, your goosebumps got goosebumps. I like it. All right. I love that. Thank you so much for communicating with each other and for chatting and for having some fun in the background while I'm chatting away. Hey, Carlene. Aloha. All right. Sarah, good to see you. Awesome. Thanks, everybody, for being here. All right. I'm going to jump into the cards. So what I'm going to do is toggle back and forth between my head and the pictures. Okay? In case you don't know, the story of Tara. It has to do with Queen Maeve, in part, right? In a certain point in time. In order to be the king, you had to marry Queen Maeve, and it was Steve that I think informed me about that. I didn't know that. So thanks, Steve, because it's really helping as these readings come out. And I guess I just want to props to everybody. Please understand that your presence here is needed in part for that reading. For that reason, Spirit's saying, you hold pieces of information that I don't have, and we can inform each other and enlighten these readings together, which is, I mean, what fun is that? So there we go, right on the top. That woman, this card, is the revelation of art. Let's see. There we go. All right, there's the revelation of art. This has already come out in one of the readings from the well. And I know some of you have been here. Thank you. I have to repeat myself. I know you've heard it. All right, so there she is, highly activated. Spirit, what's up? Spirit today is all about the eyeballs. Do you see the way she occupies herself is what Spirit is saying in this moment? The energy that emanates from her, from the heart chakra area. She is dressed philosophically, Spirit says, in her passion, in her power, pouring it out from inside of herself, the energy that comes from her, into a bowl to share with others. This was a seer. It was her job to predict and name the king. And so this card is aligned with Queen Maeve. If you don't know anything about her, go and look it up online. Amazing woman. And there next to her, this jewel-encrusted barrel of water. The well at Tara. I mean, seriously? You can hear it in my voice. When this card came out, I started to cry. It's, again, I can't, what Spirit keeps telling me, the metaphor was not lost on me. It's intensely beautiful, and I'm very deeply grateful for Spirit, the wisdom of whoever my spirit guides are, for making me wait so I could understand this message. It's deep. Capricorn, if you've been following along, we've been talking about kings, and you've been on a journey of development into that energy in your own life, being the king of your own existence by traveling through all these different trials and tribulations. And my God, have you been through them? Whether they are internal or external, Spirit is saying, you have been taking your turn on the wheel of Pluto, which is the destiny of Capricorn. It takes 200 years or something, right? And if you look back at history at what has happened when Capricorn has had Pluto traveling with it, it's pretty amazing. So I don't know everything about that, but I've done some research and it blew my mind. And there we are, another moment of destiny in this way. And so this time, in this year of portals and passage and change and shift, preparing for the, what keeps coming through me is the turning of Pluto as this journey begins to shift towards the phase of new growth and out of the phase of destroying and the upheaval that comes in order for new life to grow. The fact that this came out at Tara, at the well, not on the hilltop, that's significant to me. And I'm grateful because there are some people in my life that I love very deeply that are Capricorn. And I've been observing the challenges that have been going on. And so it just makes me feel good for their sake that this is where we're at now, and for all of you, and for me as an earth sign, because I'm not going through what a Capricorn goes through, but as an earth sign, it affects me, right? And so if you ask somebody who's an earth sign, how's life been for the last 10 years, they'll probably roll their eyes and go, well, awesome in some ways, and in other ways, not so much. Here's what I've been going through. And as I had an expectation, I didn't know if it was going to bear out. But you see what's next, right? So that card that I just showed you, that's the spiritual message for the reading that guides it, the theme, the light, if you will, and the topic of discussion. And there you are, Capricorn. You know, anybody who has been following along, if you've seen I think it's on, oh gosh, somewhere in one of the Capricorn readings, and it's on the discussion page on my channel. I had a dream. I had an interaction with a Capricorn that changed my life, that I had been foreshadowing in the dream time for many, many years. And what the dream was about, Capricorn, arising out of the ocean, having been buried in the rubble, so to speak, and the energy created by Pluto. And the dream was, I went and sat by the ocean. I didn't know why I was there. And at the time that this dream occurred, Pluto and Uranus were aligned in a certain way. And I'm not an astrologer, so I don't speak correctly. I try not to talk too much about that stuff. In such a way, I can't remember if it was a square. Something was happening between Virgo and Capricorn. And I had a dream about somebody I had an interaction with. And I now understand, years have gone by, and I understand, oh, it was a foreshadowing about this. And the energy of it was coming through that person. And I was picking up on it. And the dream was somebody rising up out of the ocean and coming to rest in the sand. And that's what the sand looked like. It was just golden light everywhere. And basically the person just looked at me and said, I'm here. And that's the moment that we're in, I think. And that's why this reading came out from the well, because you're here. So this is the King of Skill. The shield is on the wall. He's in this beautiful, tranquil place, calm, able to attend to himself now, able to become the King of Skill in his own life, because the horrible battles are done. The shield is there if he ever needs it, but you don't hang the shield on the wall unless you feel relatively secure that you can go about your life now for yourself to create your ability to go forward. And so there he is, in a very humble way, a very powerful person, making shoes for his new journey that is beginning to unfold. So I've been saying this to everyone. As we come through these days of autumn and we move energetically forward, Spirit saying, as a result of the things that have unfolded, whether we recognize it or not, inside of us because of those portals with the sets of eclipses that happened, we've come to this place now where something new is unfolding. And we have this energy inside of us where we begin to take hold of ourselves, become the King of Skill in our own life, and make our own path forward in this place of rest and beauty, having come across that ocean of change. It's a beautiful metaphor. I'm very thankful for it. Love it. Okay, so let's toggle back and look at the human journey. See that? As the year has gone on, you have come to several points of foundation as the shift and change inside of you has progressed. And here you are, first step on the human journey, another foundation. The foundation of art, of course, because it is the revelation of art that Spirit wants to talk to you about. Oops. As we go through this progression, and the things that have been revealed to you have caused you to come to this new foundation within yourself so that you can walk forward, possessing this part of your aspect. And what I've been told by various astrologers, as an earth sign, Capricorn, given your particular set point, um, but adventuring around in the spiritual realm can be particularly difficult because you're a cardinal earth sign. And, we earth signs, we want to be grounded. We want to be married to the earth. We want things to be solid. So, ramming around out in that place, not so easy for those of us. And, I don't know if you know this, but it took me a long time to be able to come to this moment in my life because it's out there. I'm out there all the time. And despite the fact that this house got built for me and all these things happened, there was a part of me that still resisted until November of 2016. I stepped out and stepped into this because I could no longer hold back the tide in my life. I wasn't willing. And I believe that's part of what Capricorn's going through in their own way. So here we see this beautiful man. Deep, deep, deep. Spirit says, as deep as a soul can go while you're walking across the earth. From this foundation now, you have a place of comfort. This is actually a representation of the dream chamber that was built by the King of Battle, who had a part of himself severed and lost his seat because you weren't allowed to hold the throne unless you were whole. There's a whole story that has come out. You can see it on the channel if you go and look through the Capricorn videos month to month. So here you are. This is the moment you're in, having come through all this change and all this shift and all this growth. And so the King of Battle built a dream passageway. And Spirit's talking about the relationship of this to the passage tombs and the way you've been prepared for this passage that is coming on the 21st when the solstice dawns. This is about a representation of being here on the earth, floating out in the universe with your being, Spirit's saying. And you see how the fronds connect? It's interesting, isn't it? Grounding yourself in your spiritual identity, the foundation of the art of a spiritually enriched life, and coming to a place of comfort despite the fact that you're an earth sign and you want to be anchored. I understand that journey, believe me. So, okay. Whew, Cappy, I love your journey. I guess that's what it is. It has a special mythological meaning for me because I've been dreaming about it literally my whole life since I was a teenager. I didn't know what those dreams are about, but now I understand. I was destined to be here in this moment, to experience this for myself and, together with Capricorn. So I don't need to tell you much about this, do I? It's a major arcana card. That's the renewer of devotion. Again, communicating from here to this place while you have your earthly journey in these days before the solstice, coming to the place, the sacred bowl of wisdom and healing. So your healing continues and is assured in a very profound way. If I can get this into the camera. Sorry, I'm still working on that. All right. Gosh, darn it. There it is, the renewer of devotion. So, because the king is here, that's the triple goddess. Those are elderflowers. This is Spirit's talking to me about the cauldron of healing that's available across the divide. I'm going to toggle back. So there you are, in this new foundation, the foundation of art, the art of prophecy, the art of understanding the prophecy, the art of becoming the king, and what it takes, the journey that it takes, and the willingness to be named. That's the other thing that's coming through from Spirit. And the willingness, as a reference to Queen Maeve, to be married to the sacred feminine energy. Whether you're a man or whether you're a woman, it doesn't matter. These are metaphors, right? We have gender assignment because in this place, it helps us learn and grow and shift and change. And isn't it interesting that gender assignment is now coming into question and all the things around that are happening and the fluidity? I find it, as a card reader and as a clairvoyant person, I find it rather fascinating. I don't completely understand it, but I've started watching a channel. I'll share more about that in November. I've started watching somebody else's channel on YouTube, who I believe is gender fluid, and this person is profound. I love the readings that come from that channel. All right, so let's see. Where did I leave off? Okay, the renewer of devotion to the pathway you are on. Coming to a place, I believe, where you can really honor it and feel some joy. Because it's been a little bit of hell on earth. I know. Because I know some Capricorn people. It's no joke, Spirit's saying. The things that happen when Pluto comes for a visit. That's what Spirit's saying. So as you enter this phase where things begin to rebuild, the first thing, of course, is taking up your place inside of you and being willing to walk into the healing in the deep mystical places that you are destined for. And as I've been saying, the next card is kind of the proof in the pudding, Spirit is saying. So that's the sacred sword of victory. That is the augury of battle. So we've been talking about battle a lot. There's the card. Do you see the transformation indicated by the garments? And, it's not really a crown, but there's a bird sitting on this guy's head. It looks like a hat of some kind. Okay. This is being revealed to you, and you stand in this place of purity. And isn't it fascinating? Maybe only to me. Clearly, it's about purity of intention. And let's see, standing, Spirit says. In this moment, when I'm, channeling these messages and these cards are coming out, as winter in where I live in the northeast of the United States begins to come on, that is the sacred sword of victory. This is the moment before you put your hands on the sword. There is some more passage to come, clearly. But this is a prophecy. You are being alerted to that which is coming. And that's what Spirit is talking about in 2018. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I know some of it, but it hasn't all been revealed to me. Okay, I can't talk about it yet. All right, so let's look at the next card. Another king. Two kings standing side by side next to these two women. So I've already talked to you about one of them, and the other one on that center line is the outcome. The King of Art, here to assist the King of Skill. And like the card below it, the King of Art is able to cross over. So there you are on the human line. And this card is, what Spirit calls the bridge between your human experience and the spiritual realm. Having come into yourself in this way, having this assistance completely transformed at the heart chakra, with your passion intact on your cloak, and your power firmly in your hand, and your sacred vision activated. And there you journey across, being able to travel across. And this person is meant to be a guide. And this king, if you will, the energy embodied in this illustration, it is the art of spiritual transition and travel and psychic vision. Inside yourself, there are things that you know that are being revealed to you because of this journey. And perhaps, like me, like I went through, maybe you never fathomed it. You might have had an inkling, but something's happening, and you are definitely traveling on because I believe you are leading us forward because of the aspects that have been challenging you and helping you transform in these profound ways. I love this next card is here. This is another major arcana card. Okay? you're just chock full of it today. So that's the counselor, that's the hermit, right? In the traditional tarot. The counselor, who, depending on which legend you ascribe to or subscribe to, lives alone in the woods, away from society, in order to have quiet, in order to have their understanding. And people go there and seek out wisdom and seek out answers. And so Spirit is saying, while you're on this journey, go to the deep places inside you. This is the first card on the spirit realm. Go deep. I'm going to toggle back because I want you to look at that line. So you see this left-hand line, even though it's a little bit out of alignment because of the way the cards are there? Transitioning. Being in two places at once, in a sense. Coming to the zenith of your skill in these moments. There will be more to come, I assure you. But having transitioned the way you have been, in these moments, this is the place, the peak that you have reached for a particular purpose. And the notion is about going deep and going into the hidden places to find the advice and the counsel and the assistance that you need. So it is both deep within yourself and also around you. Do not deny yourself a little bit of help and counsel and consultation, okay? If that's what you need. Go to the forest. You're an earth creature. I know that's one of the places you take your sustenance from. As a Virgo, I get it. So allow it and understand that on a spiritual basis, that's what's happening. Okay, returning to the source, returning to nature, having some quiet in a mystical way inside of yourself. That's what's happening on the spirit realm as you take your earthly journey. So look at the top row, which is the spirit journey, and look at how it is reflected. Look at the alignment of the cards. It's astounding to me. I'm always a little bit like, wow, look at that. But, as these things deepen month to month, it's beautiful. I wish for everybody that you had, a day where you could sit home with your computer in your lap or whatever and watch every single reading that came out from February through to the end of the year. I wish that there could be a marathon somehow that I could frame up so people could watch it, the highlights or something. I don't think I'm going to I could produce it, but I'm probably not going to have time. Those are the things I'd like to do. That's what I dream about. I think, well, if I just had the time, right, and the support to just do nothing but this, those are the kind of things I would do because that's where my passion is. So the message is about that in a certain way. Get right into this energy and go deep because you are being led through this journey in order to take time from the depths. That's why the reading came out at the wellspring of Tara. And the purpose, of course, if you look at the next card, is about balance and being deep out in the universe. Look at all the indications of that. Standing in this place where streams of light entwine themselves around the streams of mystery that come from the mystical realm, and standing there fully transformed. I'm going to hold this card up. Hang on. Okay, check it out. So again, female energy. Okay, it looks like breasts to me. I don't know. That's what I think when I look at this picture. Female set point in terms of energy. And do you see that being has been split open all the way down from the heart to the root chakra and resewn? Blue is the color of transformation. And there you stand on the spirit line, having been transformed, taking in the energy and the intention of the universe, so to speak, the mystical realm, the heavens, the spirit realm, whatever you want to call it. I don't care, right? We all come to our meaning through the traditions that serve us. So I don't get stuck on that. I try not to. That's the balancer of energy. It is turning, Capricorn. I've been saying it for months. It's really true. You are being prepared for the next phase and these moments leading up to the solstice are a time when you are being gifted with the ability to come to balance in these deep, mysterious ways. And here's the last card. Let me toggle back. Look at that. Do you see how those two cards, it's interesting to me. There's the counselor, there's a little bit of space, and then the balancer is literally touching the spinner. They go hand in hand. They are, okay, Spirit's saying they are one of another. I think that I think what that means is they are of the same. They are a reflection of a very similar set point. I also want to tell you that there on the spirit line, those are three. Each one of them is a major arcana card. All together, this is a very important moment. And again, I'm just going to keep saying it because it keeps coming through to me. Coming from the wellspring of Tara, not from the top. Because you're not at the top, are you? You've been under the horrible tutelage of Pluto, destroying your life, reforming from the inside out in order to help you come back to the well so that you can rise again through this transformation. And certainly the rising is happening because we see it in these cards. That's the last card on the spirit realm. And it is about this tree, okay? Respirating in and out, Spirit's talking about taking the energy in from the universe and respirating it out into the space around you. This is the spinner of growth. Because from this place that you have arrived, okay, Spirit's saying a lot of things. One of them is you've been prepared. You've arrived in this moment in order to prepare you to meet the solstice. And there's a passage. And some of you that are watching have been here all day, and I thank you for that, so you know what I'm talking about. Something is going to happen like the Lion's Gate, like that important, Spirit is telling me. When the solstice comes up, in the 4 or 5 days around the solstice, there is a passage, I guess I'm just going to keep using the word, even though it seems redundant, that energetically is going to open so that our souls can pass through this place in which we've been struggling to the, oh, that's what it is. Hang on. Thank you, Spirit. All right. To the next place we are meant to be in. So that in 2018, we can put our hands on the sword and go forward. You hear me saying we? I mean, so metaphorically, everybody, each in their own way, at their own energy set point in the way that's correct for them. But for you, dear Capricorn, the king is about to come to the coronation. Not quite ready, right? But definitely being prepared so that those gifts that you have taken up inside of you can be sent out from you like a tree sends out energy and seeds into the world on the winds of change. That's what's coming. Can you hear my voice cracking? I get so choked up because these things are so beautiful to me. All right, so Speaking of the winds of change, let me toggle back one more time. Spirit's saying, just take a moment, take a deep breath. Maybe Spirit's talking to me so I can get my voice back. Because, when that starts happening to me, I can't talk. I don't know if anybody can. All right, so, what an amazing journey, Capricorn. Thank you. Whatever strength it is that you are gifted with when you come to this planet, under this sign, this energy signature, it's amazing to me as an earth sign, I think I'm pretty strong as a person. I've been through a lot, and I'm still standing. You guys, props to you, because I see the difference, because like I've said, I know some Capricorn people are some of my best friends. So I see them, I watch them, and I think a couple months ago I was talking about, actually maybe it was September, riding the dragon. That notion, right, that comes out of the Game of Thrones. Just climb up on that thing and ride it. Don't let it control you. You're the boss. And so that's what Spirit was talking about. So here we are at the outcome. I'm going to flip back to this picture. I don't know why Spirit made me take the picture. There it is. At the wellspring of Tara, preparing for your new destiny in order to become the king in a new way through this prophecy of all the shift and change. And that, in order to assist you as you go forward, another major arcana card, the beautiful goddess of alchemy, the mingler that takes all of our human endeavors and mixes them together in a sacred way. And that's, that vessel, that's us. That's you, Capricorn. And she has her whole intention on you. And she's been here, I think, with you before. And so, what's coming through about this in the moment, if I can control my voice. All right, let me, you know what? I'm going to show you the picture. I know I've said it. I'm just going to keep saying it because it seems relevant. I want to show you in context. Okay, there we go. The mingler of energy, her job is to take that which comes from the earth. If you look in the bottom right hand of that card, you see that there's a portal there. Hang on, let me show you live again. See that portal? The energy that comes to her in the mystical realm from the earth, or all the places in which it comes, her job is to sit there and take it up. Do you see? In a way, it almost becomes her garment. And mingle it together. And, every reading that's come out, Spirit's talking about this tapestry, this cloth, this cloak of energy that is being developed over the course of 2017 because of all these portals and all the shift and change that's going on. And this is the purpose. And Capricorn, because you have Pluto in your first house, you are in some way in a leadership position, as I said. And this is the point. In order to mingle this energy together, because of the journey that you are on, it affects the outcome for everyone. So, in the most humble way, I'm not talking about you're better than anybody else. That's not where I'm going with this. I'm trying to talk about the importance of your journey in the placement that you're in just because of destiny, right? You're here wrangling with the beast. I love that Spirit started talking about it like the dragon from Game of Thrones, to illustrate it. That's been the experience. So the rest of us are out here having a similar journey, creating our energetic set point, bringing it into its fruition as you are, so that Spirit can take that energy and mix it all together to prepare for what is coming next. So it's 4 o'clock. I vowed that I'm going to try to be, I have to develop the skill set of doing this within a time frame so that it works for everybody, including me. I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to leave you with that photo, and I'm going to toggle back to the chat stream so I can take a look and see if there are any questions or any comments that you would like me to speak to. Hey, Joanna. I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly, but I know who you are. Hi, girlfriend. Thanks for being here. Shamanic Queen. I know it does bring peace, doesn't it? It, as you can tell, I just start to weep. Carlene, hi. You know, Carlene, I'm not sure if it's you or somebody else who's been talking about the sea goat of Capricorn. I know only a little bit about that, and thank you for bringing that up because it is something that I'm getting the message. I need to learn about that in order to more deeply understand Capricorn. Hey, Suze Pratt. Glad you're here. Phantom, hi. Sarah Plain. Good. God bless you. All right, Tani. Let's see. Steve, how are you? Okay. Folks, thank you so much for being here and for accompanying me. And Spirit's saying, that's you all, the folks that are here, you get it. And for whatever reason, you have the time. Maybe it's because of your time zone and what's going on in your life. Hi, Tanya. Tanya Carol Smoot. I see ya. And Annette Larson. Hi. Jean Marie. Welcome. Edom Stars. Let's see. Cass. So, I thank you for everything that you're doing and for being willing to accompany me. And that's what I was starting to say. Spirit's talking to me in the background about that aspect of your journey, in some way. Whew, you accompany us because, okay, I'm going to talk about fantasy stuff now. Spirit, it keeps coming through, so I'm just going for it. Bear with me. Okay, now I'm getting the image of, and I hope I'm saying it right, the Lord of the Rings stories. And I think it was Frodo that had to go up the mountain, right? Had to go through that journey that destroyed him and turned him into something else, basically. Brought him home to himself in a certain way. It was a passage. It was a journey. And actually, the strength in that story is Sam, who accompanied him. And that's what Spirit's talking about. You are accompanying the rest of the souls on this planet. And if you look at the Cancer reading from earlier in the day, the card on the top was about a boat of souls adrift on the ocean trying to find their way. And I think that's what I'm trying to speak to when I say all these things. It comes into me in that way. And Spirit just wants to acknowledge you and help you see yourself and get affirmation about this part, your part in this fabric that is being woven. And the reason why the mingler of energy is here with you in these moments where you become the king of energy in your own life, having come through this very profound journey of destruction and rebirth, the phoenix rising from its own ashes through its own power, finding something deep inside through this journey. And now standing in this moment, having been prepared for the passage that is coming on the solstice. And, as I've been saying, no question in my mind at this point that is why I was led to go to those places, because we are in this moment. And it is the journey I've been talking about, as stimulated by the information that comes into me that then gets expressed with the cards through the illustration of the cards. I get it. It took me all this time to understand. And it wasn't until I took that journey And so these are feeling like very profound moments for me because the way Spirit has been guiding us through, through my set point. And I know there are lots of people out there doing similar types of work, and everything they are doing also has its own value. This piece of the message that wanted to come through me, I think because I wanted it, right? For some reason, my set point was the right place for that energy to reside and be expressed. And Spirit is talking to me in that way about your energy and your set point and your journey. So I thank you because I know, as best I can know, as a person, as a woman, as a card reader, as a clairvoyant, I know in all these ways the depth and the enormity of that journey. So, folks, I'm going to sign off and send you my love and my hugs in order to free you from this part of the journey so that you can go on with your day and have some time to ponder all of this. Thanks again. I'm going to transition and say goodbye. There I am. Thank you so much. Light a candle for me. I'm going to try to do the Libra and Virgo readings again tomorrow or the next day. We'll see how it evolves. I've come to trust that the moment will come when the moment comes. So thank you for sharing your moments with me and for loving me and supporting me through my own shift and change and growth. And I feel blessed by knowing all of you. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. I'm going to start the readings for November probably next week, okay? Thanks, everyone, so very much. I appreciate it. And let me toggle back so you can see the cards again as I'm saying goodbye.